All right, so are you ready to dive into something really exciting? Today, we're going to explore the world of micromobility repair businesses. We're talking, e-scooters, e-bikes, the whole shebang. And to help us unpack all of this, we've got this awesome guide, Micromobility Repair Business, a comprehensive launch guide. So, imagine you're thinking about starting this kind of business. We're going to walk through all the crucial steps and hopefully spark some of those entrepreneurial ideas.
It really is a cool space to be in right now. And you know what I find really interesting? It's not just about fixing stuff. It's about being part of this whole booming industry, with so much potential.
Definitely. Okay, so before we even grab a wrench or anything, this guide really emphasizes the pre launch prep. They talk a lot about validating demand. What's that all about?
It's crucial, really. Basically, you need to know if people are actually willing to pay for this service before you invest all your time and money.
Right, makes total sense. And they actually suggest using Google Trends to get a quick sense of how many people are searching for e-scooter repair or whatever in your area. I actually tried it for my neighborhood and I was kind of surprised there were a lot of searches.
Yeah, that's a good first step. But the guide also suggests something a bit more concrete, surveying at least 100 micromobility users. You could do it online, like through SurveyMonkey, or even just go to like a transit hub and get some real-time feedback.
100 people. That's quite a few people to talk to.
Well, yeah, but think about it. That's a big enough sample size to really give you reliable data, right?
Yeah.
You'll get a good snapshot of what people actually need and, more importantly, what they're willing to pay for.
Interesting. And here's something that really stood out to me in the guide, understanding your competition. But they even include things like DIY YouTube tutorials. How is that a competitor?
Well, you're not just competing with other repair shops, right? You're competing with the whole idea that people can fix these things themselves easily and cheaply.
Uh,
So it's super important to figure out your target audience's pain points.
mm,
Are they struggling with certain repairs that they just can't or don't want to do themselves?
okay, that makes a lot of sense. They actually recommend researching the most common repair issues. Things like flat tires, brake adjustments, battery swaps, all that stuff. Why would we need all that detail, before we even launch?
It's about being strategic, you know? If you know what people are struggling with, you can tailor your services and inventory accordingly. Become the expert in those specific problems.
Right, become the go to person for those tricky repairs.
Exactly. You don't have to be everything to everyone, at least not at the beginning.
So, once you've got a handle on the demand and who your ideal customer is, it's time to nail down that business model. The guide goes into a lot of detail about different options, like subscription based repair plans. And I thought the tiered levels were super interesting basic, premium, even commercial.
Yeah, tiered subscriptions are really smart. It lets you cater to different needs and budgets. Like you could have a basic plan that includes, I don't know, one free tune up per month and maybe discounts on parts. Then a premium plan could offer like unlimited minor repairs or even 247 roadside assistance.
And they even gave specific pricing examples $15 a month for basic, 30 for
And
premium.
that's interesting, right? There's a real psychology behind those price points.
Yeah.
$15 a month feels like almost an impulse buy for a lot of people. It's less than a cup of coffee a day. Then the $30 that positions you as more premium. It's all about finding that sweet spot where customers feel like they're getting a good deal and you're maximizing your revenue.
Wow, so the pricing itself is almost like a marketing tactic.
Exactly. And there's one more layer to this.
Yeah.
By having that seemingly cheap option, it actually makes the premium one look even better. It's a subtle nudge towards higher revenue.
That's clever. And then to boost revenue even further, they suggest adding things like selling branded parts or partnering with insurance companies for bundled coverage.
Right. It's about maximizing the lifetime value of each customer. Instead of just fixing one thing, you're building a relationship, offering them more services, more value.
Makes sense. Okay, before we get too carried away with all these revenue streams, we got to talk about the legal and financial stuff. The guide is really clear about getting the legal structure right.
Oh, yeah, that's crucial. Choosing the right structure, like an LLC, it gives you flexibility as you grow and some nice tax benefits too.
And then, of course, licenses and permits. You'll need a general business license, mechanic certifications, and something that's really important in this business, liability insurance. Why is that so crucial?
Well, think about it. You're dealing with people's main mode of transportation, right?
Yeah.
If something goes wrong with a repair, you could be held liable.
Yeah, that's true.
So liability insurance not only protects your business, but it builds trust with your customers.
Mhm.
They need to know they're in good hands.
Okay, now let's talk money. The guide estimates startup costs between like $30,000 and $50,000. That covers things like a mobile van, tools, marketing, and developing that booking app.
Right, and that's where funding comes in. The guy talks about bootstrapping, crowdfunding, even attracting angel investors who are interested in this whole urban mobility space.
So many possibilities. I'm already feeling inspired, and we haven't even gotten to setting up this service itself. This is just the beginning. Okay, so we've done all that groundwork, demand, business model, legal stuff, all that. Now it's time to like really get into the nitty-gritty, actually building the service. Location, 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 right?
Yeah, for sure. That's a big one. And the guide gives you two main options: a mobile repair van or a storefront.
Ooh, a mobile repair van. That sounds so cool.
Yeah, right? It's got that kind of like flexibility. You could go where the customers are, like set up shop near commuter spots during rush hour.
You'd be like a micro mobility food truck zipping around, fixing scooters.
Exactly. But a storefront has its advantages too,
Yeah.
You got visibility, a dedicated space. You could make it a real hub for the community.
Tough choice. I could see both working. Okay, so let's talk tools. The guide mentions tire levers, torque wrenches, battery testers, all that jazz. Anything on that list like stand out to you?
Well, not really surprising, but I think it highlights the skill level needed. You can't just be like handy with a screwdriver. You need certified mechanics who understand these machines, e-scooters and e-bikes. They're complex.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, to keep those mechanics busy, they say to stock up on common parts, inner tubes, brake pads, batteries, all that. And they even suggest like negotiating bulk discounts from suppliers like Alibaba or JMB importers. Is that common?
Oh yeah, bulk purchasing is like essential, especially in the repair world. The lower your cost per part, the more profit you make.
Right. Right. Got to watch those margins. And speaking of efficiency, staffing. They suggest 2 to 3 certified mechanics, and they really emphasize fast turnaround times, like under 30 minutes per repair. Why is speed so important?
Think about it from the customer's perspective. These scooters, e-bikes, they're how people get around, for work, errands, everything. The faster you can get them back on the road, the happier they'll be.
And more likely to come back and tell their friends, too.
Exactly. So it's not just about being a good mechanic, it's about understanding the whole customer experience.
No, all this hands on stuff is super important, but we can't forget about technology. The guide talks about how even a simple app can, like, revolutionize your business. They suggest starting with an MVP, a minimum viable product. What is that exactly?
The MVP, it's a brilliant strategy, especially for startups. Basically, you build a very basic version of your app with just the core features. You don't want to overcomplicate things or spend a ton of money before you know what works.
So it's like a test run?
Yeah, exactly. See what people use, what they need, then you can add more features later.
Okay, so what are the must have features for this repair app MVP?
Well, you definitely need a smooth subscription sign up process. That's key. Then, real time repair tracking, secure payment options, and of course, notifications to keep customers in the loop.
And there's this one detail that caught my eye. They recommend using a CRM system like HubSpot or Zoho. I wouldn't have thought of that for repair business. Why is that important?
It's all about managing those customer relationships and gathering data. A good CRM can track everything: repair history, preferences, feedback. You can use it to personalize your marketing, yeah, send targeted offers. It's like having a digital brain for your business.
That's a great analogy. Okay, shifting gears a bit, let's talk partnerships. The guide suggests reaching out to the big micro mobility companies like Lime, Bird, Spin. Why would they be interested in working with a small, independent repair shop? Wouldn't they just do it all themselves?
Well, some companies might, but for others, outsourcing repairs makes a lot of sense. These companies are focused on growth, on scaling up quickly. They need reliable partners who can handle repairs efficiently and cost effectively.
So we could position ourselves as their like go-to repair provider,
Exactly. Offer them bulk discounts, maybe even on site service for their fleets.
become part of their team, basically.
Right. You're helping them keep their scooters and e bikes on the road and their customers happy.
Now, this partnership idea really surprised me. They suggest teaming up with local businesses for like repair pop-ups. What does that even look like?
Think about it. You partner with a coffee shop or a co working space, offer free tire checks, minor adjustments while people are getting their coffee or whatever.
It's like a marketing event,
Yeah. You're building brand awareness, reaching new customers. It's a win win.
and it's a fun way to engage with the community and to like really boost your credibility. They recommend collaborating with micromobility influencers on YouTube, those channels that do repair tutorials and stuff.
Oh, yeah, those channels have huge audiences. People really trust the recommendations. Getting a shout out from one of those influencers could be huge for your business.
So many strategic moves to make even before you officially launch. This is getting exciting. What's next on our micromobility roadmap?
Time to make some noise. We'll dive into the launch and marketing strategies next.
Can't wait. See you soon for the grand finale.
All right, welcome back. So, we've covered a ton, right? From like figuring out if anyone even wants this service to setting up the whole operation and even finding partners. Now for the big moment, the actual launch. Getting the word out, getting those wheels turning.
Yeah, it's all coming together. And the guide, smart as ever, suggests a soft launch.
Soft launch. What's that all about?
It's like dipping your toe in the water.
Hmm?
Testing things out before you go, like full cannonball.
Mhm.
Instead of launching citywide, you pick one or two neighborhoods to start.
Okay, so it's like a test run, but with real customers.
Exactly. You can work out the kinks, get feedback, refine everything before you go big. I like that. Less pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And then to get some buzz going during this soft launch, the guide suggests some promotions.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. Like free tire repairs or half off subscriptions. They seem almost too good to be true.
Well, they gotta be enticing, right? It's about grabbing attention.
Yeah.
There's a psychology to it, limited time offer, get it before it's gone, that kind of thing.
Taps into that FOMO, right?
Exactly. Gets people excited, gets them through the door or, onto your app.
And then you can really wow them with the service, turn them into loyal customers.
Precisely. But it's not just about new customers, it's also about getting feedback from them. The guide recommends using something like Google Forms for surveys.
Oh, yeah, those are easy to use. What kind of questions should we be asking?
Well, things like overall satisfaction, how was the booking process, was the repair fast enough, were the mechanics friendly, that kind of thing.
And it's constant improvement, even after you launch.
Always. It's a never-ending process.
Okay, and speaking of improvement, let's talk branding. This is where it gets fun, right? Catchy name, tagline, logo, the whole nine yards.
Yeah, and they had some fun examples for names like WheelFix, ScootMedic, ReviveMobility, short, memorable, gets the point across.
I liked those. What about the logo? Any tips there?
Well, they recommend Canva. It's pretty user-friendly, lots of templates. Or if you have a bit more budget, you can hire a designer on Fiverr.
Good point. You don't have to spend a fortune. Okay, so you've got your brand, your soft launch is happening, feedback is coming in, time to really spread the word. How do we reach those potential customers?
Well, digital marketing is key. They suggest targeting urban commuters with social media ads.
Like pictures of people zipping around on scooters.
Yeah. Catchy visuals, compelling copy, like tired of flat tires, get unlimited repairs for 15 along, something like that.
I like that. Short and sweet gets the message across.
And you can target those ads really specifically. People who follow cycling groups, e-scooter brands, even food delivery services.
Hmm. Those are our people. And then there's SEO, right? Search engine optimization. I've heard of it, but not sure I totally get it.
It's basically making sure your website shows up on that first page of Google when people search for, e-scooter repair near me.
Oh, so when people are actively looking for a service like ours.
Exactly. You want to be the first thing they see.
So using the right keywords, making sure your website is like Google friendly
Yeah, all that good stuff. It's a whole science in itself.
and content marketing too, right? Those YouTube tutorials we talked about, how to fix a scooter brake in 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. That kind of content is gold. It positions you as the expert.
Yeah.
Even if someone doesn't use your service, they'll remember you as the helpful company.
So you're building trust even if they don't become a customer right away.
Exactly. And it's great for visibility on YouTube.
And speaking of community, getting involved locally, they had some good suggestions for that too.
Yeah, like sponsoring cycling events, hosting free repair workshops, partnering with local businesses.
Really becoming part of the community.
It's all about building relationships.
So we've launched, we're marketing, building community. Now it's time to scale, right? Grow the
Yeah,
business.
and the guide stresses the importance of tracking key metrics, both financial and operational.
Oh, like knowing your number?
Exactly. Things like customer acquisition cost or CAC.
Remind me what that is again.
It's how much it costs you to get a new customer. So if you spend $100 on ads and get one new customer, your cap is $100,
Makes sense. And we want to keep that low, right?
as low as possible, while also maximizing the lifetime value, or LTV, of each customer.
LTV, that's how much revenue a customer brings in over their like whole time with you.
Precisely. The guide aims for an LTV of like $200 or more per subscriber.
Okay, and then gross margin, that's the percentage of revenue we keep after covering costs.
Right. Got to watch that bottom line.
Yeah.
They recommend aiming for 60-70%.
So smart pricing, efficient repairs, all that.
Exactly. And on the operational side, it's all about speed and customer satisfaction. They set targets for like average repair time, 20 minutes, and customer satisfaction scores like 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay, so track the numbers, make sure customers are happy, and then what about expanding, reaching new markets?
They talk about opening new locations or even franchising.
Franchising, that's interesting. So other people could open their own micro-mobility repair businesses using your brand, your system.
Exactly. It's a way to scale quickly without having to manage everything yourself.
And they also mentioned B2B, going after contracts with delivery companies like Uber Eats, DoorDash.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge market.
Yeah.
Those companies rely on micromobility. Their riders need constant repairs.
That could be a game changer.
Definitely. And as you grow, tech becomes even more important. They suggest upgrading your app with like AI diagnostics.
AI, that's futuristic. What would that even do?
Imagine a customer uploads a photo of their scooter problem through the app. The AI analyzes it, figures out what's wrong, maybe even offers troubleshooting tips.
That's amazing. It's like a virtual mechanic.
In a way, yeah. It streamlines everything, makes it more efficient for everyone.
And then to free up even more of your time, they suggest outsourcing things like accounting.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Use QuickBooks, hire a freelancer, whatever works for you.
So you can focus on the bigger picture, the strategic stuff.
Precisely. And then there's supply chain optimization, partnering with local warehouses for faster parts delivery.
So you're not waiting around for parts, your mechanics are always busy, customers get their scooters back quicker.
It's all connected, right? Every piece of the puzzle.
Okay, so we've covered launch, scaling, optimizing, but it doesn't stop there, right?
Yeah.
What's the long-term vision?
Well, they talk about diversifying revenue streams, thinking beyond just repairs, selling white label parts on Amazon, developing fleet management software.
Software, so like helping companies manage their fleets of e-scooters and e-bikes.
Exactly. Track maintenance, optimize performance, all that.
That's a whole other level. And expanding services too, right? Maybe offering rentals or setting up charging stations,
It's about becoming a one-stop shop for everything micromobility.
creating a whole ecosystem.
Yeah, I like that. A micromobility ecosystem. But, every business has its challenges.
Right. They mentioned seasonality. What happens in the winter when fewer people are riding?
Well, they suggest adapting, offering winter storage, selling cold weather gear, partnering with indoor cycling studios.
So you're still generating revenue even during the slow season.
Exactly. And staying informed about regulations is huge too,
Mhm.
city laws, all that.
Oh, yeah, like those nighttime e-scooter bans or speed limits.
You got to stay on top of that stuff.
And of course, competition. How do you stand out from the crowd?
They talk about exceptional customer service, 247 support, eco-friendly practices, specializing in a niche.
Finding what makes you unique, what makes you better.
Exactly. It's a competitive landscape. You got to have an edge.
Wow, what a journey. We've covered so much from like that initial spark of an idea to building a whole business.
It's been a real deep dive.
Yeah.
This guide is a fantastic resource.
Mhm.
So much practical advice, so many inspiring ideas.
Definitely. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Imagine you've built this successful business, happy customers, a great team. You're part of this whole sustainable transportation movement. What's the most fulfilling part for you? Is it the financial freedom, the positive community impact, the satisfaction of just like solving problems and keeping people moving? Something to ponder as you start your own entrepreneurial adventure.